All right, guys. Here goes nothing. I wanted to share with you real quick what a 7,500 pound rocket looks like under test. Not a joke, right? So now keep this in mind, please. Now let's take a look at this image right here. This is supposedly a high resolution image by NASA, right? Just to make sure that you understand this is honest. This is from nasa.gov sites default blah blah blah, right? This is something that was published by NASA as one of the lunar landing modules on the moon. So let's take a look because this thing landed on the moon, right? So it fired up a 10,000 foot-pound rocket. The one that we saw was 7,500, and it must have left some kind of artifact on the dirt. Do you see any? Because I don't see anything here that shows this thing actually fired the rocket to land. So that's one very important point I think that we cannot neglect. The other thing that we cannot neglect is that you saw how the moon is made out of regolith, right? I mean, very, very fine, dark dust over here. And as you can see, with the exception of this literally piece of cloth around the leg, and the rest of it, there is no dust, there is no nothing around here, indicating that however this thing landed, it didn't fire up that big ass rocket that makes all kinds of ruckus. Now you would say, okay, I get that they probably went out and actually cleaned it up real good, right? I doubt that very much, but let's say they did. Check out what this craft looks like, guys, really. I mean, first of all, let's look at the top. Once you zoom in, you realize, what kind of shit is this? I mean, even Johnny Gavalas hasn't made work like this. If you look at it, everything is buckling, nothing is secured down. These things look more like uh, sheetrock screws than they do rivets, right? And you go, okay, maybe that's a plastic covering. But again, why would you use a plastic covering, right? Especially when you're going through space. And as you look at this thing, you realize there's more problems with it. Like, for example, you come up here and you go, what the heck is this all about? This is supposed to be sheet metal. And sheet metal work, fine machining job they did. And look at the riveting work here. Amazing quality, right? We do a better job as kids just making little things. I mean, come on. So there's no doubt in my mind looking at this thing. Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. As you can see, when you have these stabilizing thrusts, they've got this dark carbon thing here. They also have it right here, right? This is a stabilizing thrust, and underneath it there is this protective piece of cloth of sorts, maybe carbon or something, to keep the thing from, I guess, burning. But they forgot to put one on this side, guys. Okay? So, to me, this looks like a model at best. Not to mention that if you look at the legs, right? Look at how they were constructed, literally with aluminum and copper tape. But this is no construction work worthy of a space program or of a government contract. I mean, the shit is just kind of thrown together and that's it. So I very much doubt this is original or it has anything to do with reality and landing on the moon, guys. Now, it makes for a nice prop when you don't have the right cameras, but once you put the right cameras on it and start looking at it, you realize that this is shoddy work at best, okay? So that was my point. That's what I wanted to talk about. And I hope this recorded, otherwise I don't want to feel like doing this again. Shit. Where is the stop button?